Hey everybody, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. I'm JR. Today it's time to introduce a new to the channel project. This is Roscoe, the Cherokee. He's an XJ Cherokee. It's a 99, 4-liter, 4-wheel drive. Pretty basic stuff. I got this, if you guys have been following along on the YouTube community page or on my Facebook group, you know that I've been looking for a daily driver for the winter to try to cut down on miles on my FJ, and I wanted to be able to give something to my niece Melanie. She's on the honor roll pretty consistently, and she'll be 16 in June, so she kind of lives in the middle of nowhere and she prefers SUVs. The XJ is fairly small-ish. It's very small to me. It's so small I thought the seat was broken. Kept trying to jam it back. I paid $600 for this. I think the guy had it listed for like $1,200 at first. It was only up for a minute. It was up. I saw it. I contacted a bunch of people who flaked out on me. Or just, you know, were like really weird, like, hey man, can I ask you a few questions about your Cherokee? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm selling it. Like, okay, well, I'm sure I'm not buying it. There was one that didn't run locally here that was $1,200, and then it was $900, and then they decided it was worth more than $900, so it went back to $1,200. And just all the typical flakiness of eBay or Facebook that you have to deal with nowadays. The way it is. But this one went up for sale for $1,200, and I saw it. I don't remember what the ad even said. It was literally only up for a couple minutes. But I contacted the guy. I said, "Hey man, can I ask you a few questions about your Cherokee?" Which is, I always do that so that people know I'm a little more serious than you know, just that, hey, is this still available? Canned message. So he says, yeah. I said, you know, how long have you had it? Have you been driving it? Is there anything I need to know about it? Because I had one guy who neglected to tell me that there was like no back window or wiring harness in the entire thing. If somebody needs a trailer to pick up your vehicle, you should probably put that in the ad. Anyway. He didn't get back to me, and then the ad just like went away, you know, and Facebook sends you this canned message that says, you know, so-and-so has deleted this item from Marketplace. So I responded with, you know, well, okay then. And he came back, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to respond. So I asked him a few questions. He says, you know, I changed the crank sensor, it runs really rough. I don't want to mess with it anymore. So I said, you know, do I need a trailer for it, or you know, is it driving? He says, no, you need a trailer for it. I said, okay, well, if I need a trailer, there's no way I'm giving you $1,200 for something that needs a trailer. Because again, if we're way too far apart, then there's no sense in us having a conversation. I would have paid $1,200, or I'd have paid $1,000 for this if it ran and drove, right? It's pretty okay. It's got cool Rubicon wheels on it. It's like 180,000 on it. So he hits me back with, you know, 700 is the lowest I go. I won't take a penny less. I'm like, well, okay then. I didn't expect that. I just expected some acknowledgement that, you know, 1,200 was excessive for a non-running Cherokee. So there's dog catcher looking for peanut and coconut. They like to come around and see if you have licenses. They're not too interested in the 15 million stray cats roaming this city, but they want to make sure Peanut has a license to be a dog. Anyway, I'm rambling on about my Cherokee story here, which is mainly for my niece's benefit. You know, one day she might be 80 years old and want to look back at this and remember her first vehicle that ran on gas, and Greta didn't like it. So he says, yeah, it runs really rough. I can't hardly get it in the driveway. You're going to need a trailer. You know, I won't take a penny less than $700. I said, you know, can I come look at it tomorrow? I said, sure. So I got out of work early that day, And we went over to take a look at it, and he fired it up, and it ran really rough. And he says, yeah, you know, it was running pretty bad, so I changed the crank sensor, and then it ran even worse, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. He said, I changed the crank, and he said, then I came out here yesterday, I started it up, I drove it around the block, it ran fine, so I pulled the ad, which must have been in the space between when I talked to him. So I pulled the ad, and then, you know, I started it back up, and it ran really rough again, so, you know, here you are. So what I did that day was I unhooked the battery terminals and let it sit for a little while, and it fired up and it ran fine, and I drove it home, as you guys saw in the live feed in the Facebook group. But since then it's not been starting again, or it starts, it just runs terribly. So now it's running good. I could drive it right now. So that's kind of where it's at. It's got a massive manifold leak. Loud balls. I'm going to shut it off. Actually, I'm not going to shut it off. I plan to come through and do 2x6 rockers. I plan to come through and cut all this and re-weld it back up, which will help me get rid of this, right? I want to go all the way to the door line. I don't want to lift it. It's not getting LS swap. I'm going to cut these fenders out mainly because they're rusty. Those are 265 on it. Drive to work every day for the next 8 months until I give it to Melanie. That's pretty much the basic overview of the plan. We'll probably see a few trails, and we'll probably see a few off-road cars. But it's going to be a pretty basic, pretty cheap, pretty DIY. Let me step back away from that thing, it's so loud. Pretty DIY, basic, cheap project. So that's it. I thought I'd share it with you guys. This video's been kind of long. I'm sorry I rambled the whole story on, but hopefully you guys are up for something a little different. Even though a Cherokee, XJ Cherokee's not exactly off the beaten path too much. But we'll get some cheap tires on it, a cheap manifold. Like I said, we'll do our own rocker repair, cut the bottoms of the doors off, get it looking a little better for her. And you know, we'll see how she likes it. And maybe in a couple years I'll swap her out for something else when she goes to college or whatever. But I'm happy to be able to do this for my niece. She's a good kid. She deserves it. Well, she deserves better than this, but she'll have better than this by June when it's her birthday. So this is JR. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.